So this is kind of tricky because the psych hospital that I worked at, where I was cross-trained in ECT, we did ECT in the building, like in the outpatient part of our psychiatric hospital. And from what I've seen prior to this, this is pretty rare. Because in this capacity, you're really not practicing as a psych nurse and you're really not using any psych skills unless you have patients that come in and are like very much in an acute state of like mania or like catatonia or something like that, then you would be using a little bit of psych skills. But for all intents and purposes, you are a pre and post op nurse and kind of a OR nurse if you're working in the actual ECT like suite, which I was personally not trained to do. There was only like 2 nurses that were. Most places I find that the nurses that work in ECT are just like PACU nurses, and it's kind of treated like any other procedure, which honestly makes sense because they have the skill set. And most PACU jobs that I see posted want ICU experience. So it is kind of a little crazy that we had psych nurses, by trade running these places. But we did hire people that were interested in psych because a lot of the nurses would work down there and then they would go finish shifts upstairs. Some of the nurses were part-time, so they did like just their 3 ECT shifts a week, which a lot of the time weren't even full 8-hour days. Of course, I imagine if you found a place that was really like busy and had lots of ECT patients, you could make a full 8-hour day of it, but I'd say that these jobs don't exist in a lot of places unless you would go to a hospital that does ECT and you're working in PACU. Unfortunately, I wish they did exist more.